Attention gamers, all chat flamers and tiger tamers. I have this theory that every few weeks at Riot a bunch of devs host what they call the Whose Idea Was This hackathon, where they all make something that would so obviously break the game and piss off the player base if it actually got added. Then they all vote on one winner and actually add it to the f***ing game, while picking one loser who then has to go on stream pretending to the community like it was a serious change by making up random reasons why it's justified, while the rest of the devs get to watch this humiliation live and laugh. And it's typically Riot August who draws this short stick.
I don't know, probably needs a rework.
Anyways, a notable winner of one of these Whose Idea Was This hackathons was Death's Dance. An item that gives dank bagel bites in the stats department but then allows said dancer to go into damage debt where they can delay taking it in fights. That alone sounds like something that comes out of a bull's ass, but the cherry on top of this piss pie is where you magically get a metric boatload of healing enemas on every takedown, which scales at a criminal amount with bonus AD. This makes your health bar in team fights look like a damn loading screen, while making everyone who has to deal with it question why they play this game, while making me think I should take this stupid idea and do it dumber by building it on this counting psychopath who already gets buffed bonus AD to see how ridiculous the healing can be on kills. Then I paired it with an all-you-can-eat buffet of Omnivamp items to see if I could be the king of he who steals life.
Did someone say stealing?
Oh baby, look at the size of that VPN.
Thank God you're here. Riot is letting literal life get stolen. You need to explain why these people need a VPN.
Okay kids, imagine walking down the street. What if everyone including you was wearing a lanyard with a card that had your name, address, bank account information, interests and all your weird late night fetishes all listed out? That is like the internet thanks to Google and Bay's head, and all the zuckercucking going on at Meta. Your info is out there for the taking, but not with NordVPN, and its features like threat protection that block these stealers, flag dangerous sites and remove all trackers, so that you are no longer at risk.
Not to mention it allows you to pretend you are interwebbing from anywhere in the world, which means you can get access to games and shows that are geo-restricted to countries that you don't live in. So use my link to get all this peace of mind and global internet server teleportation powers for a super duper discount, and thank the Nord Lord for sponsoring this content.
Hi mom.
Okay, so I chose to rock the numerical nut job mid because random supports are like assholes. Everyone gets one and they all stink, and you could have called me Old MacDonald because I wasn't doing jack shit other than farming until Dumbledore's dick freckle over here sets up a gank, but I 200 IQ took cleanse so that I could walk through walls.
Bruh.
Totally calculated. I used cleanse for the 65% tenacity during the echo stun obviously, so stay quiet in your car seats back there.
Bruh.
And you don't get to interrupt my meticulous counting without me calling in my flaming pumpkin-headed man horse thing horseman. So I wait patiently for the moron to mulligan, and then I prove that you actually can mess up counting to 4 as I think nut busting my last auto before my Q costed me the kill as we chase little man over to the pissy plant so that he can meet President Obama face to face. All because I hit a prophylactic cleanse, because it's not like I would be needing it 40 seconds later when Zippy's on bottoms must have spawned and booked a direct flight straight into my ass lips. But it's okay because it gave that small sack of self-proclaimed evil some time off to vacation south, and little did he know I booked an Airbnb in the same area. Side note: a few minutes back off camera we adopted a scuttle crab and soaked him in turkesterone, so don't be alarmed when you see Hecarim drop him off at work when he looks a few hundred pounds heavier with an endless craving to nose tackle statues as the wiener-sized wizard naively thinks I can't dance despite knowing my love for the opera. I keep my eyes on our Rift Godzilla as the Headless Horseman validates said nickname by attempting something brainless, so I fire up the zoom out death simulator and Vigor appropriately goes somewhere he can't dodge as if he has mistaken my ult for a hurricane or some shit. Then thanks to Rift Alexa's reports I can ascertain that bot lane is currently an ADC only hangout room, and as someone who spends all his free time playing this shithole of a piss pit game I'm rarely included in the cool kids club, so I take advantage of fitting in this time by heading down and immediately trying to kill off one of my own kind as Project Pistols busts a Gale Force nut straight onto Legolas's wife for the kill. And there's nothing like a successful assisted homicide to solidify friendship, so me and Lucy were already scheming our next hit, where I would play the role of naive mispositioned dumbass to draw out Tucker time tits, and then the boys would come, allowing me to launch the triangle of terror desk pop numero uno up an ashhole and then secure a slaughter with the second. At this point it's about 18 minutes in and approximately silvery low, so naturally we're now all playing ARAM, sticking around less healthy than a fucking french fry, so I was all like hey when in Rome, as I boot up the blind duck hunting arcade and 360 no scope an obese submarine on my first try. This is when the fear of weak-ass mental loser league players casts worry over me, so I pull my reverse psychology Uno card by pretending I have class, because if I let this cancer community know that they are inconveniencing someone else by not forfeiting, they will hostage each other all damn day, and I wanted to get to buy Death's Dance. And immediately after, I found it hilariously ironic that Echo had a voice line that said step up right before he stepped up and got my 4 Glock cocked down his ear hole. Just listen. But here's the thing, my reverse psychology get them to hold hostage and feed them a kill or two strategy failed when I learned that our jungler was still working a shift at fucking Dunkin' Donuts and was half AFK, which thickened the plot of what became a roller coaster ride of a game. But focusing on the present, I got my Death's Dance, which meant that right before the curtain closed in this next uncoordinated shitfest called a Silver Elo teamfight, I would be able to handle Frank the Tank pissy whipping me with his anchor long enough to kill Robin Hood side hoe and heal up from the homicide. But here's the thing, I wasn't the only one taking a hard pass on death, wanting to dance a bit more until that strict stern nun with her roller whacker sword showed up, so I made like a silent fart and slipped out until Dunkin' Donuts the douchebag savior must have cleared the drive-through line in time to come in and fear the jouster so that we could all pull down our pants and shit on her broken face together. Anyways, I turn to minimum wage Willie and say, hey, if you ignore the next customer that walks in, we can nab ourselves a blue buff, and if you promise to not AFK for a few minutes after that, I will even put a seatbelt on the fleeing feeder monkey. And that sparked his interest enough as I waited for Echo to hop in the hot tub time machine back to when he was still completely dicked for another easy kill. But eventually the bad guys either got word of our plan or just got wards in general, because they come back with numbers and I couldn't let my wild Rapidash get killed or he would be back to the donuts distribution for sure, so I contributed absolutely nothing to the fight until it was time to zoom out, desk pop a warm up, and then hat trick the last 3 straight up diabetic Buzz Aldrin's poop shoot for the kill. And I'm not here to make any assumptions, but this Fiora was dressed up like a slutty secretary and constantly putting herself right in the middle of 4 dudes, one of which was rocking a horsecock, so if you were to ask me, she was gunning for top creator on the P-Hubby-Dubby and the role-playing category, which allowed us to storm their base like it was a beach in Normandy and take the cake, as I was 1 item off of my full Healy boy build, so drum roll please on if my theory crafting shit build worked. I challenge you. I keep it taco to try to make this work as a good Jhin player, and I won't rest until I see it. Rav out.
They ask how I rap like I'm the baby. Your girl in my DMs and she going crazy. She asked to come over, I'm telling her maybe. I'm busy, I'm chasing the check.